Lewis Hamilton is one of the greatest Formula One drivers of all time, and a driver whose fame extends beyond the racetrack. Yet how much do you really know about the man behind the helmet? Welcome back to GPFans, as we bring you 10 things you might not know about the one and only Lewis Hamilton. Don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on any of our future videos on all things Formula One. Lewis Hamilton's weakness for Chinese food. Not only does Lewis Hamilton boast the most wins in the history of the Chinese Grand Prix, he's also been dedicated to Chinese courses off the track. Earlier in his career, he could often be found dining at Shanghai Blues, an upscale Chinese restaurant in London. He also made good use of the karaoke booth at the back of the restaurant and was known to pick up the mic to sing along to the hits of Michael Jackson, Prince, and Sir Paul McCartney, among others. Hamilton had to face the paparazzi when leaving the establishment too, and was pictured with former girlfriends, such as pussycat doll Nicole Scherzinger, after enjoying a meal out at his favourite spot. Unfortunately, Shanghai Blues is now closed, and since 2017, Hamilton has switched to a vegan diet, which he has credited with giving him a boost in his performance. He's a big fan of curries, but given the demands of his regime, his diet only allows him to tuck into them as the occasional treat, with most of his meals relying on legumes, pulses, and other plant-based fare. Lewis Hamilton is one of the most decorated people in kids' TV. Lewis Hamilton is one of only 4 F1 drivers to receive a knighthood, and is also a member of another select group of people honoured by a different British establishment, the venerable children's TV show Blue Peter. Hamilton's first appearance on the BBC programme came as a kid himself, aged just 8 years old, racing remote-control cars when he received the first of 3 Blue Peter badges. He was later awarded the rare gold Blue Peter badge in 2009, the show's highest award and given out only for exceptional achievements, joining the likes of Steven Spielberg in picking up the prize. Surprisingly, Hamilton has another connection with Spielberg too. Lewis Hamilton could have been a fighter pilot. If you thought Lewis Hamilton was fast in a Formula One car, imagine the speeds he could have reached in a fighter jet. That was the only offer made to Hamilton by none other than Tom Cruise during the making of Top Gun Maverick. The offer was made when Hamilton visited Cruise on the set of his sci-fi action film Edge of Tomorrow. But that hasn't stopped Hamilton from making other moves in Hollywood. Hamilton is both co-producing and appearing in the Brad Pitt film Apex, a movie that at the time of writing is said to be one of the most expensive films in the history of Hollywood. It's a film about Formula One, so while we won't get to see number 44 in an F-18 anytime soon, it should be a project that Hamilton can help bring to life. Lewis Hamilton went to school with a Premier League champion. Did you know that Lewis Hamilton once lines up on the pitch to play with a future Premier League winner? Both Lewis Hamilton and Ashley Young attended St. John Henry Newman Catholic School in Stevenage, with the F1 ace in the year above Young, who started his professional career in football at Watford before joining Aston Villa, Manchester United, Inter Milan and Everton, as well as playing for England 39 times. Hamilton is a world-class athlete in his own right, and also a fan of Arsenal Football Club. Who knows what path he could have forged for himself had his focus been on football instead of motor racing. Hamilton might not be playing a match in the Premier League anytime soon, but what you may not know is that he is a player of sorts within the world of football to this day, just not the same football as his old schoolmate. Lewis Hamilton part owns a football team. Hamilton has been busy in other areas of his sporting life outside of Formula One. Despite being brought up as an Arsenal fan, did you know that he was part of a bid to buy Chelsea Football Club, one of the Gunners' big London rivals with Roman Abramovich? He's also got himself involved in American football too, as part owner of the Denver Broncos NFL franchise. Not content with dominating at least one era of Formula One, Hamilton's building an empire to rule over once he calls time on his career as a racing driver. Hamilton is technically the most successful Brazilian driver of all time. While Lewis Hamilton may fly the flag of the UK when he drives in Formula One, did you know that he also holds an honorary Brazilian citizenship? In fact, Lewis Hamilton is one of the most beloved drivers in Brazil, and it all started with Ayrton Senna. Hamilton was only 9 years old when Senna lost his life, but the Brazilian great would forever be his inspiration. And at first, the Brazilian fans didn't take to Hamilton at all. Back in 2008, when he denied Felipe Massa what would have been Brazil's first F1 title in 17 years, he was booed at Interlagos. However, he's since taken to their hearts as a driver who embodies everything great that the Brazilian racing spirit stands for. Hamilton is also one of the drivers to do the most to honour Senna, and has even taken to referencing Senna in some of his choices, be it his choice to wear a yellow helmet, to being sponsored by Banco Nacional, just like Senna, and donning the same blue cap that Senna used to wear. With 7 world titles to his name at the time of writing, Hamilton is technically the most decorated driver with a connection to Brazil in F1 history. In 2021, after winning the Brazilian Grand Prix, he even opted to wave the Brazilian flag in celebration of his victory. When he was made an honorary citizen in 2022, he told his fellow citizens, "I feel like I'm now one of you," telling them that he had even taken to identifying as a Brazilian when picking the nation he plays as on FIFA. And that brings us nicely to our next point: Lewis Hamilton is a gamer. According to fellow British F1 ace Lando Norris, Lewis Hamilton is pretty handy with a games controller in his hands. Speaking on his Twitch stream, Norris revealed that Hamilton regularly games against some of the younger members of the grid, such as Pierre Gasly and Charles Leclerc, although he doesn't allow his gaming sessions to be streamed, unlike Norris. Hamilton is also heavily involved in the official F1 game, used by the creators to consult on the realism of the simulation and how to make the details just right from a driver's perspective. Norris has even played games with Hamilton offline too, taking his compatriot for a round of golf in March 2023. Lewis Hamilton has a secret identity. If his dedication to karaoke didn't make it clear enough, Hamilton enjoys music and loves to get on the mic as a singer. It's not just a hobby either. Recording under the artist name XNDA, he's appeared on the Christina Aguilera track Pipe, and after much speculation, confirmed that XNDA is his secret identity, going public in 2020. A fashion mogul of the future. F1 fans will be familiar with Hamilton's eye-catching choices when it comes to what he wears around the paddock, but his passion for fashion runs deep. Hamilton was credited for helping to strike a deal between Mercedes and Tommy Hilfiger, announced in 2018, and his own brand, Plus 44, collaborating with other big-name brands in the industry. Charles Leclerc has even admitted he hopes to replicate Hamilton's successes in fashion one day. Forget Milan or Monaco, maybe Hamilton's hometown of Stevenage should be considered one of the fashion capitals of the world. Lewis Hamilton could have driven for Williams. Yes, it's hard to believe, but before all his glory with McLaren and Mercedes, Hamilton almost joined Williams. Back in 2004, Hamilton and his camp were pushing for the young driver to move forward in his development, only for McLaren to insist he remains in the Formula 3 Euro Series. It's then that Hamilton and his team approached Williams to negotiate a deal, only for their backers BMW to refuse to fund his junior career in the sport, a decision they surely came to regret. Hamilton returned to McLaren, and the rest is history. But it wasn't the first time he'd been so forthright in his attempts to get ahead, even as a youngster. Hamilton famously got on the radar of McLaren when, at the age of only 10, he confidently walked up to team principal Ron Dennis and declared he wanted to become the F1 world champion in one of his cars. Hamilton has never been slow at coming forward, which is always a handy trait for a racing driver. Where would you place Lewis Hamilton in the all-time list of Formula 1 greats? Did we miss anything from our Lewis Hamilton top 10 that should have been featured? Let us know in the comments below, and if you're after more great videos on Formula 1, then check out these next videos from the GPFans team on your screen now.